So this is the setup for now. Slightly changing as to what I am targeting now. First, I was just running on this very small data set which I had over here. Now I've been following this tutorial, which is this one, the AI guy, and he's gone and recommended that go and download files from the Google uh, dataset, the Open Images dataset, in place of labeling files on your own and doing all that effort. So seems to be okay. And I wanted to have these files basically, which are waste containers, right? Mm, waste management containers. Yeah. So I got about, I think, 100 images down to begin with right now. And then there is this option of having a train set, a validation set, and things to that effect. So right now it will just be a train set as far as I am concerned. I will not go beyond a train set. Uh, and that also just 100 files to begin with. Then let me see what can be done. So what has been done is when these files have been downloaded, they have come down with such labels. And to see these labels as to what they look like, one second, let me. So this waste container, this is the original labels. So the original labels will look like this. Uh, I don't know where it has put the name over here. The what I saw in his demo, the names weren't there. But any which way, so if even if the name comes, so that is the class name, and then XY coordinates. Uh, right. So this is the left top left corner, and this is the bottom right corner for the bounding box. Right. So let's say within one image, if there are three waste containers, so this is how the labels will come down. So this is the second waste container within that image, and this is the top left corner, in the sense, like, let's say this corner of the image. Let me just try and show it on the image itself. So let's say there is only one waste container. So this top left corner and bottom right corner, these two are mapped out, and then it goes ahead and creates a bounding box. And if there are two waste containers in an image, which image would that be? Okay, multiple waste containers, right? One, two, three, four. So I presume how this would work is that the top left corner, then the bottom right corner, then the top left, bottom right, and that's how it will create those bounding boxes or segmentation masks. Yeah. So that's how it is. Okay. Now coming back to the, yeah, again, two of them are there. So would probably break them up into two or maybe one. I'm not sure. So yeah. So this is how it is. Now this format does not work for darknet or for YOLO. So for YOLO, this is what it works. So when it says three zeros, so it basically means whichever label we have selected, and this is just a one label, which is just a waste container. So that there's three waste containers, and then it gives you in this particular manner. So fine. So how do we convert this? So there's right. So he's actually cloned this from somebody, and to use it, it is pretty simple. But to understand their code, of course, that might take some time. So I've not really gone into understanding their code. I've just used it the way he's described in his video. But I think this is wonderful code and needs to be gone through as to how this is working. Yeah, so maybe later. So okay, then once this is done, you got this. So he says you can go ahead and delete this labels directory, which I will. I have not done that now. And image and label we've got in this particular YOLO format. Then you want to generate a list of uh, training images, right? So train.txt. like we had earlier. So I just had about 12 images over here, and these were generated by using some other tutorials, guidelines, and that particular code. So what he's given is he's given two files: generate train and generate test. So I just copied these two files from his Git repo. Nothing else from there yet. Okay. Mm, So yeah, so this is just a way of going to that repository where your images are stored. So top directory for me is dataset test, then within that own data dir, and then within that waste container, right? And then get all the files whichever .jpeg ends with, and just add them to the list and just write that file. Fine, so that got done. Uh, where did this get done? So I don't know if it has written it at the right level. I'll check that. This is the old one. I said train. I gave it a different name, right? Train waste container. Where is that? One second. Yeah, so in place of yeah, so it's written it over here. So these are those files, the JPEG files. And how many do I have? I think around 100 I had, right? Yeah, so 100 are there. So okay. Similarly, create a test file later on. Once I get those test images, I haven't got them downloaded yet. So okay, let's see. This one seems to have ended worse than the last one, because in the end, but average loss seems to be much higher. So let's see what it says. Mm, 1.20. Yeah, last time I think it was much lower. So that's okay. What else is it saying? Valid CUDA allocate. Okay, done. Valid using default. Uh, so why is it mentioning this one? Because I've given it only this, right? So if it has gone into this file, data test rohit.data, that is where I've defined my mm, have I got this open? Yeah. So data test rohit train.text is what is defined. Why is it saying valid using default? This other one. The other one I don't want to use. So is it picking this up from somewhere where it should not? Okay. Also, resizing to initial size 64 into 64. This I have given over here 64 into 64 for train, right? So that is okay. So try to allocate additional workspace size. So what does this mean? So is it suggesting that I should try and allocate, or I'm not sure. Okay. And tensor cores are being used now, so that is okay. So tensor cores used, that is okay. And next map calculation at 200 iterations. Uh, See, people are saying, and at least that tutorial that I've been following, so he says that map calculation done, mm, it is best to be doing that if we have a validation set. For now, obviously, I'm not giving it a validation set, right? So even in that test, this thing that I'm giving, that just one image which is there. So what map calculation will it do? I don't think so. It will do much, right? And that's the reason that this shows 0%, right? The MAP shows 0%. So this is the latest run. Okay, so while I'm trying to run the test on that image which I have, one of the images from the smaller data set, it is not running at all. And over there, what I'm getting as the terminal prints, it is the same. What was coming earlier. Mm, so no, but I have not noted that one. This is for the training itself. Okay, so let me just run it again so that at least I'm able to understand why this is different. And look over here. Now it is very different. So it says scene 64 trained, what is this, 30,000 images and then 500 kilo batches. What exactly is this? I need to check again. Right. So this is coming for the test part of it. Test on the uh, dog image. Right. So that's what I'm getting here. Besides this, so again, let me just run this. So what am I doing here? I'm saying darknet detector test and dataset. But why am I giving this own data? Because this has got nothing to do with the dog, right? This is my okay. So this one failed. Let me change this and try again. Now this is something which is bugging me. It is bringing up the image, but it is not creating bounding boxes on it. But this was the command which was running earlier. So it says darknet detector test configuration coco data and configuration Yolov4 dot config. So that was the initial config, right? And then Yolov4 waits, and then so threshold is what I put over here. Threshold, I can just remove that. Uh, Nothing. So does this not work on the GPU? Maybe there is something in the make file that doesn't make this run. Okay, let's say we experiment, we change this, right? So that can be done later on also. You can change it back, and this one remains. Okay, so okay, darknet created again. So this seems to be a smaller exe. Earlier this used to be 2.4 MB or something, right? I hope everything is okay. Any which ways, we'll see that later on. And then let's try this. Hmm. I think now it is working. Uh, there it is. Yeah. So this is a challenge, definitely a challenge. So while we're trying to test it, end up changing, this will not be proper. Then there is something definitely wrong in the training also, which obviously it is, missing out, or something could be wrong. I don't know. This is a bigger problem. I need to fix this. This one doesn't give anything. This failed earlier also like this. Uh, let's try. Let's try this. Uh, so it is giving me my custom class, and it is saying planes 100, planes 100. Obviously, it cannot see planes anywhere in this. Uh, so which means something is happening, but things are going wrong, right? So that is what it is. Obviously, there is no my that data set uh, is not proper. Whatever is there, it's identifying so many planes. And it's saying not plane also. So which means it is trying its best to do something, and these results aren't coming out if that GPU part is enabled. So it's only on OpenCV enabled make and just multiple CPU that I'm getting these results. Otherwise, I'm not even able to test it. And now I'm not even confident if the training is happening properly, because obviously the GPU is training it faster. Yeah, why not try the training command now? Let's see. Uh, Go to the custom this thing and let's try the training command. This is a sad situation. Uh, test train. Okay. Uh, Rest everything is okay. Data test Rohit. Okay. Configuration file. Okay. Okay. That Yolov4 con.137 layers and map we can avoid also, and but let it be. I'm presuming this will be very slow because it is running on CPU now. Ah, yeah, it's extremely slow. I think by now it would have gone into 40 iterations or something on GPU. Now it is, I think, just not even 5 iterations. We can see those small dots on top left. We can see these small 4 5 dots coming up. So obviously it will be extremely slow. Yeah, iteration 5, and that number is not even changing. Otherwise, that number changes very fast, right? By now it will be hitting somewhere about 100 iterations on GPU. I think I'll just stop it. There's no point doing this. Need to fix a few things and maybe check again. But at least there's a good discovery that there is something definitely, most definitely wrong with my either the GPU config or something is extremely bad here. Not sure what. Need to close this.